Okay, ask and you shall receive. As you know, I've been filming all of these time lapses of me making juice, and then I end up telling you all of the juice that I made and walking you through it on my Instagram stories. And it seems that we want full videos on YouTube of making juice and make juice with me. So here we are, and yeah, this will be technically the first one. And I don't really know what's gonna come up or what's gonna happen, but we're gonna do this process together and we're gonna make juice. I'm making 2 types of juice today. I'm not doing a full one, and I have a sneaky suspicion I'm probably only gonna have 4 jars at the end of this instead of the regular like 11 that you have seen from me before on Instagram. So here we are. I gotta wash all the stuff, I gotta cut all the stuff. We're here together. Let's see what happens. So the first juice that I want to make is a carrot and, what was it? Oh yeah, carrot, orange, and ginger is what I wanted to make. And then the second one that I wanted to make was an apple, mint, parsley, and also ginger. Because I feel like I always want a ridiculous amount of ginger in my world and in my life. So that's what we're gonna be working with today. But I'd be curious to know if you have any other combinations that you like or that you have done before, or what you want to see. Like if you're curious to know if something tastes very good and you're like, I want to try that, or I want to see what that's all about. You just tell me, and I'll try it. I'll try it for you, and then I'll report back with that knowledge. But the juicing has been great. I've done, I think it's 3 times now. I think it's been 3 times that I've done this juicing extravaganza since I bought this juicer. Actually, some of you may not know, because who knows who's watching this, I have no idea, but some of you will know from the Instagram stories if you're here from Instagram. Oh, I'm out of focus. Hold on. Yeah, come back. That I bought this juicer right here. Ta-da! I bought this juicer for, well, I'll tell you the story. I bought it for $30 on Facebook Marketplace, and I had always wanted a slow masticating juicer. So there's different types of juicers. I believe that there's 3 types, but 2 are pretty popular. I don't really know a lot about the third type, but it's written in a book that I have about juice, but who knows? But there's like a very popular one that you know, it's the one that goes like, just flies through the food. It's like, zzz, you know, like it just goes through the food. There's one of those. And then there is a slow masticating juicer, which is what this is. Now, I think that the really fast one is kind of fun and stunty, obviously, you know, and it makes all this noise and all of that, but you don't really get a lot of juice yield out of it because it's flying through the food so fast that what ends up coming out of it is pretty wet pulp, because it didn't extract all of the juice out of it as possible. Whereas this type, it does do that, and it goes slower. You'll see, maybe, I don't really know what I'll include because I have no idea how noisy it'll be. Maybe I'll need to do like some sound over top of it or something like that. I don't know what I'm gonna need to do, but I'm gonna have to do something, I think. But it's slower, and then what ends up coming out of it is very dry pulp. And if I don't end up straining the juice, it seems that the juice comes out kind of like a little bit pulpy as well, which personally I don't really want, but I know that there's all this conversation around juice, and I mean, I'm no expert, I just know a little bit of what I think I know, but some people really like the pulp in juice because it adds more like roughage to your life and reduces the blood sugar spike that you may get from juice. But I personally don't really want the pulp in the juice, so I end up straining it, which I was doing through a nut milk bag for the longest time, for two times. And then my wonderful friend Sarah, who she'll probably be included in this story because she really made this happen. She made this happen for me, but she told me just to strain it through a sieve as the juice comes out instead of squeezing the nut milk bag, which was such a pain in the ass. It was so annoying, but I'm happy to not have to do that. anymore. So, okay, so back to my story of how I got the juicer, and that yes, I wanted a slow masticating juicer ever since I was, I would say like early 20s. I started to go to university because I wanted to become a dietitian, and through like I started university, I was okay at it. Like I did an okay job, but I wasn't probably the best at it. And then I ended up going through a breakup with the person that I went to university like with, and he was very good at school, but I was not very good at school. And once we broke up, I just didn't want to be at that school anymore, and I didn't want to go there, and I just felt it was very upsetting for me to be there. And I ended up dropping out after like 2 and a bit years of doing university, which, you know, just of course stunned my parents, but whatever, look at us now. I'm making a video about freaking juice, but I'm loving it, you know. Anyway, and yeah, I had wanted one of these juicers since that time, which is really wild to think about that it took me this long. But this comes with a really good lesson or story, or just something for you to think about, is that I felt really limited by money in a way, because, you know, these juicers, if I bought one of them brand new, it would, on average, I think that they kind of cost around $300 to $400. And so I just always knew that I wanted a juicer, but I was like, I can't buy one. How am I going to buy one? And then it was my friend Milena, who a couple of years ago I picked her up. She was like just visiting Vancouver City, and she was staying somewhere, and she really wanted to make like smoothies, I think it was. And she's like, hey, like I need to get to Burnaby because I bought a blender off of Marketplace. And I was like, huh? And she's like, yeah, like it's a good blender and I really want it because I want to make smoothies, but I don't want to spend too much because I'm only visiting for a short amount of time. And I was like, it's like your world, or my eyes got open to this whole other possibility. I was like, Marketplace, amazing, you know? And so, yeah, so I bought this from a gentleman who lives close to me. And yeah, I paid $30 for it right at the like get-go. I think he was selling it for $40 or $35 like originally, and I asked could I pay $30 instead, and he said yeah, no problem. And I was like, perfect, thank you so much, sir. And then I purchased it from him. I brought it home, stoked, of course, just thrilled on this finally, because also if you've been watching my stories for the past year, you know that I've been drinking a ridiculous amount of juice bought from the store. And I even was like really interested and like into Greenhouse Juice, which shout out Greenhouse Juice, they're from Toronto. And I love everything, and it comes in like a glass bottle, and all of their stuff is incredible. And they ended up sending me 12 free ginger shots that they make, which a lot of you will know of those because they're so amazing and they work so well so you don't get sick. But anyway, shout out to Greenhouse Juice because they sent me that. And then all my friends in my stories were like, Whitney, stop buying, you can't keep buying juice, it's so expensive, you should get a juicer. And I was like, yeah, but the juicer's like $400, how am I gonna get one of those? So I paid $30, and then I got it home, I started juicing, was not working at all. It was a total pain in the ass. No pulp was coming out of here, like there is supposed to be pulp that comes out of this little zone. Nothing was coming out at all. And the juice that was coming out was very, like, kind of baby foodish. And I was trying to juice a bunch of shit. Like I had the carrots in there and I had celery in there, and it was like getting clogged and all messed up every time I put anything in. I was like, what is it? I was like, of course, I bought this thing off of Marketplace. He said that it worked, you know, but I mean, what do you know until you test it and try it? You don't know anything. So anyways, I messaged my friend Sarah, and I messaged her, I said, because I know that she juices and has done a lot of work with juice in her life. And I said, Sarah, what do? I don't know what to do because it's not working. So she like walked me through. She's like, okay, take it apart, wash it, do it all over again. Like, let's see what you're missing. Like, what do you need to do to make it better? Anything like that, you know? And so I took it apart, and as I took it apart to wash and rinse everything, I realized that the little basket, so there's like a few different components to this bad boy, but inside there's like a little juicing basket, and on the basket it said smoothie, and I was like, of course it's not juicing anything and making this like baby food consistency juice because it says smoothie on it. It's a freaking smoothie basket. So I was on FaceTime with her and I was like, Sarah, I was like, oh my god, it doesn't even say juice, it says smoothie. And we were laughing and laughing, so I texted the guy, I said, hey, like, do you happen to have the other basket? Because this thing makes smoothies and I didn't buy it for that because I have a Vitamix and I don't need any more smoothie making equipment, you know? So anyways, and so he looked for it for a few days and he said he couldn't find it. And then Sarah ended up visiting a friend who had the same model, same one as this, had another basket that I guess they didn't need or weren't, I don't even know, weren't using it. She was all the way on Vancouver Island visiting this friend, brought it back for me, gave it to me, and the man ended up sending me $10 back because of the, you know, it's not the right thing and the inconvenience and all that stuff. So I paid 20 bucks for this thing, and I mean, so far so good. Like, if I get a year out of this, I'd be fucking stoked on that because 20 bucks is a huge deal. Like, that is like such a steal in the juice world. So anyway, that's that's the story of how I got the juicer. So Sarah and I, we went for a little shop in White Rock after I had got the basket from her, and we went and bought a bunch of produce, and I bought like bags of stuff because I was like geared up to do it and feeling so excited for the, you know how you have just like momentum for things, like when you get these different types of equipment, you're just stoked on doing it. And so as we started buying stuff, she was talking to me about like organic produce, and of course like I kind of knew some things, you know, preferably you would want to buy organic everything, to be honest with you, or if you can grow your own stuff. If you've got the space for that, or just even the capacity for a few little things, like you could have one of those home gardens inside your house, or even if you have like a vertical garden for your balcony, it's better than nothing. But buying organic primarily would be best, but I don't find that that's overly accessible all the time because obviously it's expensive and maybe not as widely available. So I do my best. I think only this parsley here today is organic, so whatever, like I just feel like something is better than nothing. So I don't think it's good for us to put limitations on ourselves either, in the way of like not buying the juicer because it's $400, or thinking, hey, I can't afford to juice, or I can't afford to juice organically because of course it's really expensive. So I'm gonna let more light in, maybe that'll be good. So yeah, so I don't always do that just because, I don't know, I just don't care that much. But if I do like one a month, I think I'd be pretty excited about that. Like one full juice that was fully organic and then the rest of them maybe just had small components. That feels okay to me. So we do our best. That's all we can do. We do our best, and either way you're taking care of yourself and you're connecting with your food in some way anyway. You are still finding a way to find nourishment and health and goodness through something. So for that, we must applaud ourselves. So typically, I don't really prep all of the juices ahead of time. I kind of prep like one at a time. But because I don't really know how loud this is going to be in the video, like we'll just have to see what ends up happening. But I will now, like, I think I'll just get everything ready for both juices. Also because I'm only making 2 right now and today in general. So that makes it a little bit easier. Whereas before, I think, you know, on average, it seems that I've made 5 varieties of juice combinations at once. And it gets a little out of hand, I'm not gonna lie. It gets a little wild in here, but it's good stuff. And I believe in juice so much. And like, you know, back when I was in university and stuff and wanting to be a dietitian, I just believed in food, like real good food, you know, but I also still believed in juice. And I had heard so much about people with cancer. Now again, I'm no medical professional. I really don't, you know, please don't take this as gospel if you're watching this, but I had seen lots of people with cancer that either would start just living better and juicing and trying to find like happiness and positives in their life, because you know the negativity also, the sadness, the darkness will make you sick too. So it's not just about the food, but it's also just everything that you're doing. Like how are you being, how are you existing, like what kind of sources of happiness do you have? Because I think that the sadness is like a poison too, you know. Anyways, I had seen a lot of people on online or in general in life, like people that wrote books about juicing after they got cancer, or taking frankincense oil for like brain tumors and things like that, or just what's it called? Just cancer, I guess, in general. And so I remember, like many of you will know, my mom was diagnosed with cancer last August, and my first thought instantly was juice. I was like, juice is the answer, and I would buy her these juices from the store. Obviously, I wasn't making them yet, but I believe that juice is kind of the answer for a lot of things, and at least just eating well, honestly, is the answer for a lot of things. So, yeah. I'm gonna make the carrot one now. I don't think I'll be able to talk. I don't really know what's gonna happen. We're gonna learn together, and hopefully this becomes a prosperous series of make juice with me, because I'm not gonna stop making juice, so you're either gonna have to be here or not be here. I don't really know what's gonna happen, but yeah, it's juice time, my friends. So this is her. She's great. You just flip this open, and yeah, let's see what happens. And if I can talk over it, it's good. But if not, I'll just maybe, what's it called? Maybe I can like speed this up in my editor or something like that. But anyway, juice time. Juice time. Okay, so that gives us what we need for this carrot juice. So this was what? Oh, this was 3 oranges. Can you see? Probably not. Okay, here, it's not that much, but I mean, it's better than nothing. 2 cups total, actually, which is crazy. 3 oranges, 5 carrots, and a whole big ol' hunk of ginger, and that's it in this one. I made really complex ones, as you've probably seen on my Instagram stories, but today is not a complex day. Today is a very easy day. And the other day when I was at the store, like I bought mint by itself because I knew that I wanted to juice it, but that was all that I ended up getting because I thought I was gonna go buy a bunch of produce the next day, and I didn't. And then I knew I had this mint at home, so I was like, okay, mint, apple, I have ginger, and then I remembered, like I thought of another, maybe like green, like parsley would be really good. And yeah, so another very simple moment in my juice adventure. So this gave me 1 whole mason jar of goodness, and a little extra. What I usually just end up drinking this because it's too small to go into anything, and I get to taste it right away, which is the best. But yeah. You know what, I'd be curious to know, because I feel like so many of you, when you do watch my stories, you're loving the juice and curious about the juice. And I don't know, do you like juicing? Do you juice yourself? Like what, not yourself, but do you juice? You know, is there something about it? Because I know, actually, I just remembered now, I have inspired one of my friends to start juicing. And she was asking me like what type of juicer I got, and you know, all these different things. So apparently, the juice revolution is at least starting over here for like our stuff and the people that are connected here. But I'd be curious to know if you juice, and if you want to juice, and if you like to juice, and all of these things. But it's a special thing, I think. It's something that really is so supportive for the body. And I don't know if I would ever do any sort of a juice cleanse. Probably. I don't really feel that I'm doing this now for that at all. It's not like a daily thing where I'm cleansing, but I would probably do a juice cleanse just to give the body a break, and just have this nutrients coming in instead of. Oh, was I going to use all that? Yes, I was. Okay, then I will use. Hold on. Oops. Okay, we'll just wash this. A little bit of water is kind of good in the herbs because they're kind of dry and stringy compared to like an apple or something like that, or a citrus fruit, which I just realized I just bought a whole bag of organic lemons, so I'm gonna add lemon to this. I said what the combo was gonna be, but it's changed, so it's different now. It's apple, parsley, mint, lemon, and ginger. Okay, so it's changed, it's switched. Okay, my one jar, fridge it up. It kind of feels a little bit like it's not enough because I'm used to these big batches that I've been making. But of course it is, and we must be fortunate for anything we have, if it's a lot or just a little, and if it's full of goodness, we have to practice gratitude for that. So yeah, okay, let's see what happens here with the noise. I don't know what's gonna happen here. I'm gonna have to see in editing, so thanks for testing this out with me. Can you see this? Can you see? Hold on. Is it gonna focus? No. I noticed when I was done that there was a little bug in my my parsley. Oh, I dropped it. I'm so sorry. Hold on. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pick this up successfully. Ah! Don't fall. Can you see it? Is it gonna focus? Probably not. What? Yeah! I'm gonna go take it outside. Hold on. Who knows if there's another one? Probably not. Okay, we're done with the second juice. It didn't really make a ton. Probably about 1.5 cups, it looks like. Isn't it crazy to think that you pick up this parsley from the store and then you put it in your bag and you carry it all the way home, and then you take it home and you unpack it and then you put it in your fridge, and the whole time this little bug has just been in your fridge and you had no idea? Isn't that wild? And then you see it and you're like, whoa, you've been with me the whole time, like took a ride in my car and everything. It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. So this sieve thing is really good compared to, like I said, the nut milk bag. If you don't know what that is, some of you may, I don't know. But I realize also that if I make these videos, I'm gonna have a lot of tips and tricks for you that are kitchen related. So that's really exciting for me. And I'm not doing this to take away from any of my other stuff here at Tula Community, you know, the podcast and the photography, but I think that this is kind of nice because I get to share all of the things that I know, and we get to connect for a longer amount of time than just on my Instagram stories. And if you don't want to watch a part like this, you can just skip ahead, and that's cool. So yeah, these are nut milk bags, and so you may have heard of these, and you may have heard of cheesecloth. Cheesecloth I did actually used to make juice with sometimes, but it didn't last very long because I found it to be a little bit of a pain in the ass because you'd have to lay the cheesecloth over some sort of a bowl and then blend all of the stuff that you wanted to make juice out of and then pour it into the bowl on top of the cheesecloth, and then you have to like squeeze it out. And the bag is a little bit nicer because you just pour it into the bag, and it kind of doesn't like fall into the bowl or anything like that. I used to just put the bag in this measuring. Is it gonna focus? Sir. Anyways, I used to put it in here and then squeeze, and that was a lot easier because it was less likely to fall in and fall down and whatever. Anyways, these are nut milk bags. So these are what people use to make nut milk primarily. So you blend up like almonds and I don't know, salt, vanilla, filtered water, and you strain it through here, and then you have vanilla almond milk. So these are very fine. These are cotton, and nothing can really get through here like pulp or sediment. So that's a nut milk bag. Aren't they beautifully stained? Look at this. Look how stunning. So beautiful. Ombre effect. Have I been juicing turmeric? Who knows? Okay, let's see what we ended up getting from this. So the sieve is nice because you just kind of turn it. You're not gonna be able to see this, I don't think. you just turn it and then you get out whatever liquid is left. And then this, I did make the mistake of one time, I clogged my sink because I was dumping. I got those little sink strainers, but I put it in the sink and then it clogged the sink and it was this whole thing. Oh boy. So this now I just kind of dump into my scraps bowl. So I give it a little hit and that's it. And then I rinse it and that's about it. So let's see what this made. I think it's also about 2 cups. Yeah, okay, so that's how much I made today. 4 cups total of juice. And then I was writing on them, especially for my mom, not so much for me, I don't really care that much, but if I was bringing it to her, I was writing what was in juice so that she knew what was going on. But when it's just me, I already know and I don't really care. So here. So that means I probably get to drink some of this because if I made 2 cups, oh no, I used it all. Okay, I don't get to drink any of this. Too sad. Anyway, there. So what was this? Apple, ginger, lemon, mint, parsley. And yeah, that's making juice. So maybe I could share a little bit as I wind down here. Pros and cons of making juice. So pros, I mean, the pros, obviously the result, don't get me wrong, you know, the pros are the result. But other pros, you know, really, I guess, yeah, just taking care of yourself. I would say that it's not that there's a lot of cons, there's just a lot of things to consider, and it is labor intensive. It's not an easy task overall. This was relatively easy because I only made 2 jars of juice, but like I said, I was making like 11 at a time, which is hefty. It's a lot. So every time I made a batch, it would fill this, and then this would get me 2 mason jars each, and then I would keep going until I filled up all of my mason jars. So it's quite a lot. This is my scraps bowl today, so this is how much scraps I got. This includes a little bit of like the first juices, well, the first juices pulp is in here. So just something to think about too, because even if you're not buying organic, I do believe this is a very pricey thing. I don't think that this is an overly accessible thing for a lot of people. I wouldn't call it cheap. Organic or not, I wouldn't call it cheap, but also your health is your wealth. And I used 5 carrots, which I could have roasted 5 carrots tonight. So I don't see that it's too bad. You know, it's like you could have eaten, I don't know, like I've had a few mandarin oranges today. So what's the difference between having 3 mandarin oranges and juicing 3 oranges? You know, it's like, it's expensive, but if you're wise about it, you can also get like deals. And also perk of juicing, you can buy those kind of like shit apples from the store that aren't maybe attractive and use those because it doesn't really matter how they look. So that's another positive. But yeah, cons, labor intensive, takes energy for sure, takes effort. Yeah, maybe that it's pricey and whatever, but there's also, I think, great satisfaction and joy in taking care of yourself and doing things that make you feel good or that you feel you want to do. That's also a beautiful thing. So yeah, I would say another con of this machine specifically, this machine is from Sultan, not overly fancy, but my dream juicer would be from Harome or Omega. They are amazing. They're like top ones, but also $20. I paid $20, but this one is a little bit of a pain in the ass. I would imagine that the other ones maybe are a pain in the ass, but this process is a little bit annoying. Like you gotta kind of jimmy it, and it gets, because it's like this like screwing motion that actually maybe I can show you that the inside is doing. I'm gonna lose my whole setup. If you care to know what you're on right now, it's a thing of coconut oil and 2 yoga blocks because I don't have the things I need. But anyways, is this gonna focus? Probably. Anyway, it's got this like slow screwing motion in there. So that ends up tightening it into the juicer, which does make it a little challenging sometimes to get it out at the end of it all because it's just been constantly like getting screwed into the juicer. So anyway, that's maybe a con, but it won't take me too long. Like I can already tell, okay, yeah, here we go. So it's good. And maybe a con of this juicer is that the cleaning, people don't like the effort of the cleaning. I don't really care. Sometimes if I'm not in the mood, I'm not like stoked about it, but also like I signed up for this. Like no one made me do this. I wanted to do this. So it is also something where you need to tend to it right away. which is not my forte, but I'm becoming better about it because I want to keep this juicer for a very long time, you know? So, yeah, if you got juicing questions, I can answer them for you. But again, I'm like a beginner, like a novice juicer. But yeah, thanks for joining me on the juicecapade, and here's to greater health and happiness and joy in our worlds, and bringing in goodness to ourselves and nourishing ourselves, and remembering that sometimes that's really hard for people, because to love ourselves and to take care of ourselves does mean that we have to sometimes start loving ourselves. We want to make better choices for ourselves. And I'm realizing as I get older that taking care of yourself and wanting to do good or buy good products isn't actually second nature to a lot of people, or sorry, first nature, because, is it second nature? Whatever. Because maybe we don't feel that we have, like that we deserve it. And obviously financial means too, but like I said, I bought this thing for 20 bucks. So finances are a big thing, but also if you really want to make something happen in your life, you can. And I would never want anyone to feel limited, like they couldn't do something that they wanted to do. There's always an answer, there's always a solution, there's always a way to make something happen. And sometimes you just got to think outside the box, or remember that you do deserve it, and if you feel that you want it, that means that it should be yours, you know. And so yeah, you are deserving of good things, and all the right things will happen to you. You just put that out there, you know. Good energy, positive energy. And yeah, thanks for being here for the juice adventure. And yeah, I'll see you soon. See you soon for the next juice adventure.